And I'll use my audio here. You want to just make sure that the audio is turned down over there?
Yeah, let me just do that really quick. Oh, it's already on mute.
Okay.
All right, just let me copy this over to my flash drive really quick. Desktop is unavailable. I'm pretty sure that's a lie. Oh, that's my old desktop. All right. And I have it saved as marketing plan. Copy to disk.
Mindy, have you had a chance to look at any of the test materials
For,
the Photoshop certification?
yeah, I looked at some of the practice.
Is it scary?
Yes.
Really?
It's scary.
Are any of
Sometimes
our
I,
online friends coming?
Huh? Not yet. We'll let them jump in when they get a chance. So just go ahead and start projecting. And you want to share your screen so we can see what you're doing. So go back to, once you open your thing, go back to the call. Do you see the green button? There you go.
I was on Hangouts the other day at my own house,
Uh-huh.
and I didn't see that green button.
Huh.
It was weird.
But you saw my email about potentially getting funded?
yeah, that was exciting. I
Yeah.
told my parents and they were like, oh.
Oh, I would love to see you just keep this
I want to be a Photoshop expert.
test, but well, there's Mindy for her senior overview project. She's going to do some Photoshop projects and get certified in Photoshop as Photoshop.
Oh, congratulations! That's
Well, she
awesome.
hasn't passed yet. That's not premature.
That's awesome that she's going to do that.
So there's a dean's fund that will fund, students going to conferences partially and help pay for different things. So I asked if this was something she could apply the dean's fund for, make a case. And they said they would probably partially fund it. They want some students to kick in to have some funding so that they're invested in it as well. So
That is not. No. There we go.
all right, Zach, you're on.
This is not the layout that I'm looking. I guess fine. I'll just view it in this mode.
That's fine.
So this is my proposal that I nicely put together. What I have so far. Ignore that little thing. I forgot to delete that last night. So looks a lot better than last time, doesn't it?
Yeah, Zach, I can't believe you don't like design concepts. It's like clearly nicely designed. I mean, it seems like you have some sensitivity towards good design.
You're confusing me right now.
No, I mean, seriously, it looks really nice.
Well, I use a template from Word.
Oh.
What? Do you not like using templates?
No, it's fine. It just looks really good.
All right, so the objective. H1 Web Solutions is a service that both offers web development for companies and training for companies and individuals who want to create their own professional website. Their website, h1swebsolutions.com, will be the cornerstone of the company. The website will be easy to use and will be presented in plain English so anyone can understand what goes into making a website. The target market. The target audience for H1 are small businesses who are looking for more than a simple website creator, such as WordPress or Squarespace. These companies who are looking to further their knowledge in coding, and for some reason last night when I wrote this, it sounded like better English. These companies who are looking to further their knowledge in coding and want to be sufficient enough to rely on minimal outside tech support. In addition to businesses, H1 will post online classes in which the general community will be able to learn how to build their own website and have access to the vast knowledge of web experts at H1. We hope that users of H1's new website will find it easier than ever to learn how to make their own website. We hope that both business owners and community members alike will be able to learn coding with ease and be able to find the support they need when they need it.
Okay.
And so here is my little, I kind of made this in the style of a navigation bar.
Right.
And so this is what the layout of the hierarchy of the website. So this can be the home page. This can be what we offer. And then there's going to be classes. Now under classes, we have 4 categories. Presentations, so that's going to be like slideshows and overall notes. Footnotes to the presentation to further clarify things.
I don't know.
Video. So video is going to be an interesting thing. The idea for asking H1 if we can put a video website, meaning it's going to be more on their part to film the videos. But the idea is that there will be video walkthroughs on how to build specific little aspects of the website, so you can type along with the teacher. And then web resources will be links such as the Mozilla Developer Network and other websites that have vast coding libraries. Now, pricing is more for the business. We have a couple tiers for the business. We have one website, we have multiple websites, and then we have, if you want to add on some content management systems. Personal would be people who are looking to take classes, and if they want to like have a one-on-one time with a person, so that would be like pricing for that. Portfolio, our portfolio, case studies. Now, in the world of web development, and I learned this over the summer, whenever businesses are presenting websites, they have case studies, and what that means is they it's basically like a summary of what what the web development company did for the client and what the aftermath was. How much did it improve their sales? And so I think from what I learned over the summer, that would be a great thing to have. And then clients is our clients, about, and then contact. And that's what I have so far.
Okay, do you guys have any comments? Yeah, Mindy?
Can you go back down to your flowchart thing?
Of course.
I have 2 questions on that.
Yo.
So you said the presentations are going to be like the presentations themselves, and then you have a separate one for notes on the presentation?
Yes, like additional information.
Why aren't those linked together? I don't see why that would be a separate page.
Oh no, they will be linked. They will be linked together. I guess that this wasn't meant to be a navbar literally, but like, you know how on the bottom of PowerPoint presentations when you're writing them, there are these footnotes.
Yeah.
There'll be like the list of those.
Okay, so maybe like, I don't know, if you have another version of the flowchart to do, maybe make that more clear that that's like within the presentations. Because for now it looks like a separate page. And that's kind of
Like that?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm also seeing that repetitiveness in the what we offer and about. I feel like that's the same thing.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of redundancy there.
All right. I'll get rid of about then.
The hierarchy, like H1 is your homepage.
Yes, the
right?
homepage.
I would move it up so it actually looks like a homepage. You know what I mean? Right now it's sitting at the same level as all of the other ones as well.
Well, that's how a navbar works. I was just making
Right, but this is not a navbar, it's a flowchart. So you're trying to explain, you're using this diagram to explain the structure.
Yes. Okay.
You might have because really if you're thinking of people come from the top down, you have a homepage, and then from the homepage, you might put it in the nav bar as well. But, you know what I mean? And
I see exactly what you're saying.
see what I mean? This is nice, this flowchart thing that you're using. Is this all in Word?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good to know.
It's called Smart Art.
I think you're on the right track, Zach. In terms of your writing and who your target is, you're offering something that's unique, a unique proposition.
All right.
And I think that sometimes when people write these projects or write these proposals, they're writing them from the perspective of like a student, and you can make things for the sake of making things.
Mm-hmm.
But I want you to think about this as like, how is this going to make money? You know what I mean? How is this going to be a viable business? You know, that's nice. You're willing to give away your knowledge.
I'm not giving away. I have pricing. I'm not going to charge this. I'm not going to be cheap.
No, I know. But in terms of
She's trying to say like offer your product, like you want to come to me because like you don't want to go into the classroom. You want to come to me because you want that intimate like on the internet experience. I can offer that. I'm the best at that. Like this is what you need to like do that.
Yeah.
I offer this. This is very unique. If this is a niche product because this is not for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So I offer something that's not very common. It's like an online class platform.
I think in your head you understand it, but I think in your writing, I think you can do a better job of selling what H1 is. H1 offers a really unique proposition. It empowers the business owner, the small business owner, to build their own website.
Mhm.
You know, I empower them to do that, and you know, as the consultant and as the expert, provide support and
Mhm.
guidance
A
for them
partner,
doing it on. It's like a partnership. So I think in your writing you can sell it more as I think you can sell it more as this is a unique proposition.
All right.
It's empowering the organization or business owner. And then when you say professional website, it's a little bit ambiguous. Are you going to be doing like
You know,
full on e-commerce, or is this for a small to medium?
the reason why it's a professional website is because that's a buzzword. That is a huge buzzword in this business
Right.
because every website is a professional website if you think about it. Like,
Right.
the thing is, like, I wanted to say professional looking, but that's even worse than saying professional website. So the reason why I wanted to say professional is because it's a business, and I like.
Right.
I
But-
can see because I had the same dilemma as you're saying right now. I just wanted to include it because of the sake of marketing.
Right. Well, I think that the target audience for H1 are small businesses who are looking for, or organizations, what about small nonprofits, who are looking for more than a simple website creator. These companies are looking to further their knowledge in coding. I kind of don't think that they're going to be passionate about coding. They just want to take control of the project and be able to do it themselves. I think their passion is going to be more about saving money and also being able to understand how it works so that they can make changes and maintain it going forward further. From the point of view, I mean, every client I've ever worked with is like, they don't want to know coding. They get scared by the word coding. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
They just want to be able to make it budget friendly and have someone to call on when they have questions. So that's the unique proposition that you're offering. You're not a big web development company. You offer personal service.
Mhm.
So think about how you can sell that in your in your proposal.
All right.
That's all I'm
Did
trying
you
to.
switch to me whenever you were recording?
Yeah, you're up on my screen right here.
Okay.
All right, Zach, keep going. We're keep working on the
I was
on the
under the
wireframes.
influence that we had to present every time.
No, just 8 times total throughout the semester. So you're good. You're at 2, and we're not even halfway to fall break. So you're in good shape.
All right, then I won't present next week.
All right. I know Mindy wants to present. I think we're pretty good on time. Brittany, I just want to get you in before you have to go to class. Do you have anything this week?
Well, I put my flowchart in Illustrator, so I think I'm going to show you.
Well, it's up to you. You only need to present 8 times. I just don't want you to get cut off before you have to go.
Yeah, I can.
Okay. Mindy, you want to go on up there?
Oh.
Oh, and Eric wants to present too. Laura, how about you?
Yeah.
You're good. Okay. So we'll do Mindy, then Brittany, then Eric, and then Laura. And we don't have anybody logged in, so.
This is why I'm not marketing. This is why I'm behind the scenes.
I know, that's a hard thing, you know, you offer something really special, and it's hard. Marketing is a separate skill set.
What's the name of your eye patch thing called? Eye patch what?
You're not going to find the URL. There's no website out, but you can go to Etsy and see it.
I thought you had a website.
No.
Would you like a website?
Well,
Wait, you can make a website. You're smart.
yeah, I can make a website,
I
but
keep forgetting that. No, not that you're not smart. No, I'll shut up now.
oh man, your poor wife. One day.
Autism is hard.
Back out, Zach.
Yeah.
Now.
You think they just like pulled me off the street? They're like, oh sure, we'll give you a job here at Webster teaching these kiddos.
It is a degree mill. Okay, that was.
Okay, I remember your project, Mindy. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, so I spaced it out a little bit more this time,
Okay, girl.
and I made it so you can actually see my lovely fonts, which is much better now.
Those are lovely.
So
I
I
think
spaced
they should
out
be
the
one.
objective a little bit, and I went into more of a description of what I talked about verbally last time, because it wasn't very apparent in my proposal. So I put all that in there. I put in some target audience, and I talked a bit about the anticipated benefits, which I think for this one is more talking about how, those looking to sign up for races will find a place to sign up digitally, which directs them to the website, gains further exposure, blah, blah, blah. So I talked a lot about that. I'm showing this because I didn't do a whole lot of this. I am not sure what to put in here.
Uh-huh.
So I'm like, it'll take 30 hours.
Right.
And I'll make 17 pages. And I don't know what else to put. Like, I don't have a problem with writing the information. I'm just not sure which direction
Yeah,
to go with.
That's a good question. Usually what I do is I provide a bit of an overview about the project. So we're going to start by presenting a flow chart to describe the architecture of the website. Then wireframes will be presented, then interface designs, and then finally coding, and then modifying the coding for responsive whatever. So you're basically explaining to the client that how this process is going to go, because they have no idea.
So I should assume this is the first thing that they see before anything else. So I describe everything.
Right,
here.
exactly. So you're describing the project.
Okay.
Now, I mean, this is the proposal. I'm going to have you guys turn all of this in at once. However, this first part with maybe the flow chart would be kind of what you would do when someone said, hey, Mindy, will you bid on this job? You would probably write up what you're writing up, provide a flow chart, maybe some wireframes, but, and then an estimate.
Mhm.
But for the purpose of this project, I'm having you put all of this together as one big piece. You wouldn't go through the time of designing interfaces if it were just a proposal.
Okay, cool. So that's that. That's the only thing that's changed there. So I made two different wireframe layouts. So here was design one. There would be the homepage. This is the one that I was kind of describing via flowchart last time. Going with the moving slide that goes through 4 different ones, and then you scroll down and you have these boxes that say, directions, and then grower spotlight, and then has the information there. These are the ones that link externally, and then these are the ones that link internally. And then I have the mobile version for that, where this is the same sliding thing, but you can tap. It goes automatically, but you can tap with your finger, go this way, that way. And as I'm talking about here, it has the title and the image, but no description, because that gets better on a phone. And then these 3 banners, which will have directions, hours, and phone number, the most commonly looked for things on an app, I feel like, when I use my grocery store app. So this is design layout 1. And then I have layout 2, which is more different. Both of these are hybrids from the various different organic grocery store websites that I was looking at. I looked at like 7 or 8 of them. So these are all little hybrid mutants. So this one is a different one, which would focus more on the logo and the title. And then you have your nav up here, which would remain fixed to the top. So you scroll down and it's still here. Then you have your title and your description, and they are scattered, like that, to make it nice and nice. And then the layout one for this one is, again, picture-based. So it's mostly just, you got your title, and then like the boxes is the same as before, but without the white space. It's completely filling the screen for your image and your title and your hamburger menu, which goes up here, and your stuff moves. So these are the wireframes I have this time.
Okay, what do you guys think?
Looks good. The one thing, just go back to the previous slide if you're going right, or the one before that with the briarwood.
Oh, I closed that.
Oh, I'm
I
sorry.
can open it. Hang on.
The one thing I was just gonna say is, you still gonna go with that wood theme? You like that wood theme?
I like it for the project proposal, not really for the website. I just
Okay.
think it looks nice for the proposal.
Good. Because like when I think of briarwood, I think of like orchard. Like that sounds so weird, but like that like goes perfect with what you want to do.
I'm thinking like for the website to have like a branch and kind of wood kind of theme, but not like literal wood grain. Yeah.
Okay.
Can you go down to the wireframe? I mean, go to the first wireframe. It feels like a little bit heavy. It's so saturated with like so much value of color, and the line work is like really, really, really heavy. It's that black type on the gray, dark gray is very difficult to read.
Okay.
And so I that's just my only concern with that. I just feel like it's like really just
Okay.
But I think that the positioning and how you're thinking about the space, you're on the right track. I'm not sure why the slider is like not aligned with the things below it. It feels like that thing on the top should, yeah, it should
Okay.
be the full width,
Full width? Okay.
of, it just feels like it would be more organized. And also, I know you're describing what's going to go where on the left, but I think you're asking someone to kind of look back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And it seems like it would be, I'd be able to picture it better if I were a client. If you actually know Briarwood, you have the logo. You can go ahead and, you know, put some of the information. We don't want to like design it, but like those titles, instead of being super generic, grower spotlight, this, that, because you're trying to communicate here that your wireframes are responding to their needs. And,
Okay.
and you've thought about all of this. You've talked about some of the things that you need to accomplish. So we want to see it by looking at the wireframes like, oh, okay, that's how we're going to get people in, because she's putting that right on the homepage.
Okay.
And then they might quickly see that like, oh, well, we, this wireframe works better than the other one because we can have more of this on the, we can have that grower spotlight show up front and center. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They can make judgments like that. Whereas this, it still feels a little bit ambiguous. Plus, you're doing wireframes after flowcharts, so we should be able to see nav 1, nav 2, nav 3, nav 4. We should be able to see what those navigations elements actually are. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I would put more real information into your wireframes, but don't get hung up on making them on color, on design so much. Just show how you're going to accommodate the content and the content features.
Okay.
You can also throw in things like from those sites that I was showing you guys online, you know, search boxes and, you know, grab a search box. So they say, well, how are we going to search? You know, explain what those different things are in the wireframe, or browse our store, or, you know, this should be the interface design without the design, without the colors and the font and all of that, showing us where things are going to go.
Okay.
Sorry, you're the guinea pig because nobody else has shown many wireframes. So.
Okay. Yeah. Then I guess I was just confused because of all the. Then I guess the videos kind of were confusing because they were saying like don't have a lot of stuff on there because it'll confuse them and they'll be like nitpicking on that stuff instead of like the basic design of it. So they were saying go really minimal.
Let me check my references. I'm sorry if that was confusing.
You're good. I can do more than that because then I would have like a generic map thing and.
No, you don't need to put a map here. I would just explain what the content areas are, which you're doing already. You're doing already. You know, you're saying that like you're saying this will link to internal, that will link to external. You're telling us what's going to be in those content areas, but you're telling us over in your writing as opposed to in the wireframe itself. You know what I mean?
So should I just like get rid of this and then just be more descriptive in
exactly.
the actual wireframe? All right.
And you can put some of this stuff in here too, like image slider that will loop through blah, 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 blah. So we see, and then just change your title, grower spotlight. You can do garbage text down here and we understand what this content area is. And I think you're telling us all of this, but there's like a principle in Edward Tufte's book where it's like, always try to put labeling on the thing as opposed to here, there, here, there. Because then we're like, okay, she's saying title boxes below, 6 before the footer. You know, include that information here so we're only looking at one space.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But you're right. Don't put like, don't find a picture for that or whatever. Those boxes are fine. We understand the language. That's a picture. But it'd be nice to know, well, why do we need 3 right there? How would we use that? I mean, I've had this experience where people do get hung up on that. Well, wait, how come it says new at this and you're using the word new 3 times? And I'm like, it's just a placeholder. It's just, you can use that however you want, you know, but people aren't going to get it unless you kind of explain how they could be used.
Okay.
But you're off to a good start. Okay, Brittany, do you want to go next so you have time to present?
Yeah.
Okay. You're logged in as Zach here, but. you guys ever taken any classes here where they like a teacher does anything interesting in terms of like a discussion for a book, like using technology like polls or anything? Like my freshman seminar is supposed to be reading this book, and I don't know, like, let's talk about it. You know, I kind of want to do something more fun too.
Like is discussing the book.
Mhm. They were supposed to have read the first 40 pages, and I kind of want to see what they think, but I just kind of feel like if I come in there and like, let's talk about the first 40 pages, it's going to be like, wah, wah. They're going to be really bored.
She talked to Julie Smith. She has a lot of like cool
Yeah.
applications, like, using the projector and getting everyone involved.
How did I tell you to take Julie Smith's class?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know. I'm always hitting her up for ideas. But she does that in class a lot in terms of discussions. What does she do?
Yeah.
Like, what did she use?
There's a bunch of sites she uses. Some of them I forget. One is Kahoots, which is more like taking group quizzes, or like more of a game show type thing.
Uh-huh.
But then there are other things where you can kind of post your ideas in a more visual way. It gets projected.
Okay, I'll bug her.
Okay, I didn't come up with anything too different, but I at least wanted to show you what I had, like, wasn't able to show you last week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is the flow chart that I made. So this is the home page, which I'll have to move up.
Yeah.
Like, and okay, so this is, then I'll have an about us, and there will be like subpages. So it will be our mission, and then I don't know if I'm gonna keep our impact or not. I might. And then staff and board and more info. I was gonna put the like they have a study from SLU that studied this this concept, and they had like a whole bunch of documents on it. So I didn't know, like, and it was kind of like spread out, and it was kind of messy. So I just wanted to put that under more info. And then success stories. Put the YouTube videos under here, and then instead of in the media, I changed that to press, and so they had stories in WashU or not WashU. They had stories in the Post-Dispatch, and then they were also on KMOX, so I changed it to that. And then join us, opportunities. That's employment because they're looking for employees as well as volunteers. So volunteer, and then a contact number and address. So that's what I have so far.
What do you guys think so far?
The press coverage. Is it just online copy from print media, or is there video, or is there anything you can put on the splash page that marquees their great press coverage? It would be in the content of the press coverage itself. Is it good? Is it good enough to throw up top?
Well, I don't know. It's a good point.
You gotta scrutinize it. If it's multimedia and it looks good and it really promotes what they do.
I mean, it's just, yeah, it kind of promotes what they're doing. I mean, there's a clip from KMOX where he's being interviewed, the founder is, and he's explaining what it is. But I guess that really isn't necessary.
Okay.
I guess not,
It's gotta be really catchy.
right, because we're already describing what it is on the website, so I guess now that I think about
Okay,
it.
so if it doesn't move the whole thing forward, I just thought I would bring it up
I think
as a teaser on your homepage.
Yeah.
I think that's an interesting idea, and I'm gonna put something on the board and just kind of flip it around here so everybody can upload it. Hopefully not make a recording of my butt, instead get the board. So what if you did something like, when I think about content, you know, when you're thinking about content in a flow chart like this, you think about how that content grows and changes, and stuff like this, like for example, our mission, it's pretty static content. You know, it's not going to change a whole lot, but you're getting new success stories in press all the time, right? So you may think about that in terms of like a collection of little pieces of content. So I might show press like this. And then you have these pieces, press story 1, press story 2, and this just grows. So if I were making this in WordPress, for example, I would probably think about each of your press stories as a post, and this section would be a collection of posts.
I just said WordPress was dumb.
As opposed to whatever content manager you're talking about.
Uh-huh.
This is going to be a section that you want to be able to grow.
Okay.
Okay, so in this success story, same kind of deal. You're going to have all of these success stories. Whereas this, if you're thinking about WordPress or any other content management system, these are more like page content, where it's not really a collection of content. So if you structure this at like a collection of posts, then on your homepage you could say, hey, I'm going to randomly feature this latest post in this category. Do you see what I mean?
Okay.
I'll give you another example. One more thing about your flowchart. Remember what we said about Zach's? You want to indicate a hierarchy, so home would be at the top,
Right.
and then you would have, things like that.
Uh-huh.
And then when you have something like join us, for example, I would call this, you've said it pretty clearly, employment opportunities.
Okay.
That would be more explicit right here.
Okay.
And then volunteer, that's pretty obvious. You might call it volunteer opportunities, or volunteer is just fine.
Okay.
Contact to me feels like I wouldn't necessarily look under join us, but maybe you guys feel differently about that. It feels like it belongs at the top level.
Yeah, I agree.
So one other little, I love the way that you're doing the color. It's very clear what section goes in where. This implies sort of a linear relationship. So I would structure, the flowchart should be more like, you have home, and then you're indicating that these are at the same level right here. So under about, instead of providing like this linear path, doing something just slightly different where you have the line go. This indicates that these are all at the same level.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just slightly altering your lines a little bit.
Okay.
It gets more complex if you're going to have subsections under here, and you kind of have to be creative about how you lay it out.
Right.
I mean, I'm working on a project right now, and it's like, I literally want to keep track of what I'm doing. So this is my flow chart as I'm working. It's like, because I need, and this is just for me to keep track of what pages I built and when I'm calling the pages and how things work. And I'll make it in Illustrator eventually as I finish things. But this is kind of, I have my own little language where like dash lines mean pages that you pass through. So like,
The notation language.
yeah. So, yeah.
Okay. When I look at the flow chart now, like you said, the relationship is established. I can't see that the success stories in the press component are really going to be big potential traffic drivers to the site.
Mm-hmm.
How would that get expressed in the flow chart to let the client know that, hey, this is going to shoot up to take precedence?
Right. Sometimes when I'm doing flow charts,
not flat.
yeah, I indicate like some notes here. Latest press story will be featured on the homepage. I kind of explain what's going to be on the homepage. And obviously we're going to see that at the wireframes. Like when we're looking at Mindy's, we want, the grower spotlight. That might be, you might have a similar format where it's like growers. And then you have these pieces of content all about local growers. And then one is pulled to the top. So let me show you a quick example of that so you understand what I'm talking about. I'm just going to project from here. So, can you release the screen real quick, Brittany? I think you're on the right track. So keep on trucking. You need to get going on your wireframes.
Okay. Wait, I don't know how to do that.
Do you see where it says you are screen sharing up at the top?
Yeah.
Click on that green thing. There you go. Yeah, and I think that might have released it. Let me see if I can share my screen now. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to show you guys something real quick. I mean, this is a very simple. I made this website for the Webster INTM program. And you see here that I have this student work spotlight right down here to talk about student projects. If I go to student work, Whoops, I gotta look here.
Oh my God, am I really in that photo?
Yeah, you are.
Oh my God.
So here are some examples of student work that's been.
Yes, you are.
Each of these are pieces. These are all little posts. And this page, so do you see the relationship between, we're talking about the press page. Your press page, it could even show, instead of just the name to the press story, you could show the name and a little snippet and then a click to read more. So this is the page called Student Work, but it's showing a collection of all of these pieces of content, student work content. And the way that I organized it is like they're all in different categories too. But I programmed my homepage for the website to pull. Now, if I go back to this page and I refresh, do you see how it's showing a different student work page? Because I coded that to pull one at random.
Okay.
So when you become a badass PHP coder, it'll be no problem. You got that, no big deal. But I could also be like, instead of this news section, which is kind of outdated, instead of posting something randomly, it's just pulling the latest news post. Do you see what I mean? So if I go to the news page, it's just a whole bunch of pieces of information. And then, oh, actually I only have one news post right there. I need to update that. But the home page is pulling the latest news post. And you see the student work has changed because it's pulling one at random. So if you think about, I like Brian's point because he's thinking like a marketer. And he's thinking like, okay, well, these are really cool success stories. We want to show that right on your homepage or kind of draw people in. You know, your homepage is expensive real estate, right? So you want to, it's like you're a storefront and you want to show the coolest outfit on the mannequin right in the front window to get people to come in. So as a web developer, you want to be thinking in the same way. What can I show on that homepage in that very expensive screen real estate, you know, to get people to come in? And you've got these amazing success stories and you've got research behind why this is so important, you know? Yeah. So think about using your homepage to suck people into those areas and want to get involved. Okay. So that's your objective. I mean, the statement, back on your flowchart, you were talking about they've actually done studies that show why this works. Yeah. So, I mean, I think that's a great thing to maybe have a more, a page where you explain all that research, but maybe just a little snippet, a little blurb on your homepage, like research supports why this works, read more, and take people into that page. Okay. So as you're designing the wireframe, you have like a lot of really compelling content that is going to get people interested in the organization. Use that homepage wisely to suck people in. Okay. So that's your strategy when you do that wireframe for your homepage. Yeah. Okay. All right. Eric or Laura, who wants to go next?
Can I join the call?
Sure. Go ahead. I did. Oh, I didn't. I think I added you to the call. Hold on 1 second. Let me make sure that you're added. Stop. Okay. Add peeps. Eric. Okay, I just invited you.
Okay, cool.
And I'm not, it's hard to see up there. Okay.
Okay, should I go up there?
No, you're fine. You can present from right there. We can all hear you.
Cool. I have my microphone muted, so it doesn't move audio twice.
Okay, let me just project you. All right, go ahead, Eric.
Okay, so just a review from last time I presented. I'm doing Laquan Lien's website. He's the top chess player at Webster and also the top chess player from Vietnam. Mm-hmm. So I haven't had a chance to talk to him since over 2 weeks ago, but I got started searching for inspiration. I found this pretty cool article about 10 examples of like very good personal branding websites. So I went through, checked out like all the the sites I shared, and then I pulled different elements and actually created kind of a mood board / collage of different design elements that I thought were attractive
Hi, Brittany.
to this project.
Uh-huh.
So I didn't really pay attention to color here, just kind of the branding and kind of layouts. And what I saw a lot was kind of just simple, kind of impactful and minimalistic design.
Mm-hmm.
So might go back to this after I show you the mock-up or wireframe. So I went ahead and kind of designed a homepage based on what we had talked about already. Make this full screen possible. Actually, sorry, one second. Yeah, so the homepage has an nav menu on top with either a name or logo in the top left-hand corner. I thought this gray space would be some dominant banner image.
Right. Make sure to indicate that in
Sure.
how you're using it. Uh-huh.
And then scrolling down, the text is kind of just placeholder text, but I thought could offer us some insight on what it could be. So I thought this would be the personal branding statement with a link to full bio.
Mm-hmm.
Then just kind of a quick summary of his crowning achievements in chess.
Mm-hmm.
And then any related news stories or media items that will link to other websites.
Mm-hmm.
Probably every few months there's a new media story about him for some reason. So I thought this would be kind of a nice thing to display in the carousel and show a few at a time.
Again, this is another example where it's like a collection of content that's going to grow organically. And so naturally, as you add content to the site, the homepage is going to change to reflect that because that content is being put in. And if it's categorized the right way and you code it the right way, then it'll pull it onto the homepage. So Eric creates a new media story and categorizes it as a media story, and then voila, it's showing up on the homepage.
And this can always be adjusted to in terms of like one column or multiple rows, or depending on how many stories there are. And then just some kind of gallery. There's a lot of photos of him, and I thought that would be something that people would like to see on the homepage. So really all of these elements are kind of branding elements for him. And then, yeah, that would be it.
Okay, what do you guys think?
So once again, this is the main thing is it's a bio website, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so I think we might have brought this up last time, but everyone who's come to the website pretty much has a basic idea of what the person is, but also are you going to be like advertising like events run by this person to draw people in, or like that there's competitions all the time, like come battle me or come watch me play?
Yeah,
like is the first thing, because they know who this person is. So the first thing should be like, oh, I'm the top 30 in the world. Like, is it stuff to grab the attention?
It's not necessarily events, but it's more kind of to get a better background of who he is and to provide kind of links to content where he's kind of have a central place where people can find out more about him. But yeah, it's not necessarily about selling or kind of marketing certain events, but
So it's
it is a
bio
way to
website.
kind of share current
Yeah.
content.
Okay.
Anybody else?
The impressions I got from the mood boarding fit those wireframes. For sure. I'll scroll up top left where the gallery images are. Almost a bit, and I know those gallery images don't match the chess player, but it makes them a lot more visually interesting if somehow you could be with more visual imagery up top instead of all of this chess accolades. Because really I'm scrolling by this, and I gotta look at well-shot pictures of chess actually in all these huge awards. Unless, of course, we want to design our awards page like, about Fabiano over there. That's kind of a cool, classic way to do it.
Well, I think in his wireframe, there will be visual right up at the top because he has that rotating banner. Can you go back to your wireframe, Eric?
Yes.
That gray bar, and to imply that it's a picture, you can do what Minnie did where she does that X. That's sort of a universal language of a picture goes here. So you're going to have a big visual statement right there.
You thinking of doing slide it?
Like a slide
Yeah, there's a,
Okay.
there's actually a,
Well, that satisfies that then. I didn't know it wasn't static.
Right.
there is a kind of WordPress scheme that I draw inspiration from this one, like full screen banner where it does slide and animate it.
Can you go back to that wireframe for a second? I think what I do like from last week is the fact that you're de-emphasizing this whole, like, he's majoring in finance. It's kind of like, that's nice. But this is about promoting him as a chess star, and I feel like you've shifted that mission. I mean, yeah, great. He's got a BA in finance, but what's more notable? Everyone's got a BA in finance. Big deal.
Sure.
He's top 30 in the world. He's a pretty big deal in the world of chess. So let's kind of shift the focus. So I like that. To me, your wireframe is good in terms of the amount of detail and the fact that you're not using color and we understand what's what. Brian and others would be less confused if you indicate that this was a slider, maybe the dots underneath or something like that, so we know it's going to be images in there.
Yeah.
To me, this is feeling, in terms of the balance, you're giving this and this a lot more weight than I kind of lose who we're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like this you need to at least, you want someone to look at it, right? And the first couple of things they see are what do you say? Le Quang Liam, professional chess player, finance expert. I got it, but this is not bold enough, and this is really bold. So I play with your proportions a little bit, and this too, this type size is bigger than your main branding. So to me, it feels like I would weigh this a little bit less, and make sure that we see who we're talking about here.
Yeah, I think if you both view the website full width, it might look a bit better because it should be full screen.
But the bottom line is that you're making this text huge, and we're losing this logo here, like who he is. So again, Eric, too, when you actually go to design it, you can emphasize his name a little bit more through the use of color.
For sure.
And of course, you don't want to waste that much space by, you don't want to add all this vertical space because then that's going to move everything down too much.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure that we see his name, and then your button to view full bio, this is bigger than the main branding.
Yeah.
So play with the proportion a little bit.
It can be tricky in Photoshop.
Yes.
To get everything in proportion to everything else.
Okay, Laura, you're up, girl. Go ahead and release the screen. I'm going to put Zachary's thing back up, and then, just click on, up here, click on you at the bottom. So yeah, there you go. And then just go ahead and share the screen, the green button. There you go. And you can pick full screen and just show you. Is it an Illustrator?
Yeah, I see it as a JPEG though. I don't know if that.
Oh, is either. Do you have the Illustrator file?
No. Or I have it on my computer, or should I just resave it?
Yeah, just go ahead and, well, you should be able to open the Illustrator file, no problem. Or the JPEG. Where's the file again? Yeah, just add the extension .jpg, and it should, no, wait, just click on it, and then change the file, click on it again, and change the file name to give it wait.
Sorry.
It's okay. Let's see if we can give it the extension .jpg, because it's on a Mac, you don't necessarily have to add extensions, and so it's just confused about what it is. Now that it understands it's a JPEG, it'll like open it.
Okay. Okay, so just a refresher about what mine's about. I'm doing a new small business where she's called Debbie Doodle Designs, and she does like custom servingware and utensils, and she does it towards, I guess, holidays, sports teams, custom made stuff, and get my okay. So yeah, the main thing is to display the products and just to get awareness to what she's selling. And I didn't have a graph last time, so let me pull that up. So for the menu, I was gonna have a page for serving utensils. I was gonna do a drop down with the different categories she has, but I might combine the holidays and seasonal because I was looking through her stuff and she doesn't have like a ton of pictures for both of them, so I might just combine them into one. And then I was gonna do a sports and colleges one, and then custom. I was gonna have a page for care instructions because a lot of the stuff that she has, it kind of has some like kind of funky jewels on there, so you might need to know how to wash those when you serve them. And then I was gonna do, I didn't know how I was gonna do this, but contact, I was gonna combine that with Etsy where she put like where she does the shopping or sells her stuff, since she doesn't really have an online store. And then I was going to do a page with craft fair showings where she's going around mostly Illinois and Missouri. And then my wireframe, I've never done one before, so it's not great, but this is what I have so far of that. So that's basically it. It would be a drop down right here. I think last time we talked about logos, they should be in the left part of the banner, so I'm going to switch that and I guess just put the Debbie Doodle Creations to the right. So that would be reversed. And then right here, I was just going to do a photo montage of different plates she has, kind of just a preview, and then the text at the bottom. I was going to do an about page, but I think since it's not a huge business, I'm just going to put it on the homepage and just talk about who she is and what the business, and it's not going to be a whole lot. But that's basically what I have so far because I didn't know if my wireframe needed, like if I was doing it right, so I didn't even do all of them. So, but that's basically what I have so far. And then my only question is, I know on some websites they have like a homepage, like on the menu bar, and I didn't know if I should add that or not.
That's fine.
It's necessary.
Okay, let me ask you, based on what I told Mindy, would you change this? Mindy, what would you recommend that she do based on her wireframe?
Well, I mean, like what we said before, if that's going to be multiple images, you should denote that in some way. That it's going to be multiple.
Oh, for the photo montage?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just the one big X.
Okay. I think beautiful product shots, that's a good use of space there. But I would make a note, beautiful product shots will be rotating carousel, so we get it. Remember, your client is getting this and they're like, well, why are you showing this to me gray? I don't understand. Right. So you have to explain this is more diagrammatic, It has to be clear from that. I would say tone down your color. I mean, just really, like, did you see how light Eric's looked? All of this heavy, heavy, heavy gray and heavy line work. I mean, tone it down, lower your line work. And I know that you're probably not maybe you're not great at Illustrator yet or whatever, but, use the align tool to get things to line up so you don't have this awkwardness of, boxes not lining up and that kind of stuff. So just, work with that a little bit. Okay, let me ask you guys this. What features or what content elements, we're thinking about content elements that are other places in her flowchart. What content elements could she bring onto her homepage to increase sales and get people excited about buying Debbie Doodles?
That was going to be my comment, was that actually I think you should have an Etsy function on almost every page, because that's, her main thing. She wants to sell you her stuff. So it should definitely be on the homepage. And I think it should be under like a lot of things. Like how when you go on websites, you see like a little donate bar, like always up there. Kind of like that. You want it always up there. When you go like, oh, I like this seasonal thing. And then you can click it right there and you buy it.
Right. Oh, I got to show you something too. Great idea. Also, what if you don't want to buy from Etsy? She's at all these craft shows. We should pull the calendar onto that homepage.
Okay.
So this is exciting. I agree with you. I don't necessarily think you need a about page, but about Debbie Doodle Creations, explain how you're going to use this content area. Because the first thing the clients would say is like, well, what's text and why do I need text there? So about Debbie Doodle, or like, why buy Debbie Doodle for Christmas, or something like why this is exciting, right? Okay. So then maybe you want to use this space for like calendar of events. We're at the Belleville blah 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 fair coming up, and so think about these morsels of content that are existing in other places through your structure that you can pull onto the homepage. Is like what we've been talking about today. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, and then I guess for contact, I don't really necessarily need to put the Etsy page with that either. It would just be more for email.
Well, can you go back to your flowchart real quick?
Yeah.
I would consider, first of all, I think this is great that, you're going to show the, like, you might consider calling this, maybe products or, I don't know, maybe that's fine. This seems a little bit too specific for a top level category. I might call it FAQ. Okay. Because there are other questions that people might have as well, like how soon can I get my order? How custom can I make it? Do you ship out of the country? How do I take care of this stuff with the fancy jewels on it?
Yeah.
I think that might cover what you need it to cover.
Okay.
And it's people understand, it's going to be a more flexible category, is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
Instead of craft fair showings, it seems like a little bit weird. What is just calendar? Because people know, I get it. If they come to the website and they understand this is a small business owner, she's an artist, calendar is probably, they would know what that meant. Etsy, why don't you just say shop?
Okay.
And then there's no reason why you can't put this, and this will take you to an external link. So I'm going to show you something really quickly.
Okay.
I think, keep going. You're doing great.
Okay.
Do you have more questions for us?
No, I think I'm good. I pretty much did everything.
Okay, let me show you something really quickly. Not that this is a shining example, but I agree with what Mindy was saying about, so I'm an Etsy freak, right? Okay, so, and this is not a great, perfect looking site, but let's see, this is going crazy here. Sure. Oh, this is slow. Mindy said, Etsy should be everywhere. Etsy should be everywhere. Etsy actually makes this plugin kind of thing that if you have an Etsy store, you can customize it a little bit. It's kind of like showing somebody's Facebook feed. And again, that might be something you want to show on the homepage as well, assuming that she had a Facebook page. But sorry, this is taking forever to load. I agree with Mindy thinking like we want to sell product. Right. So how do I use my homepage to help further that goal? This is a plugin from Etsy. So you just take this once you have an Etsy store, if you go into your settings, they give you a chunk of code, and it allows you to, you just put it in there, and it shows the most 20 recent designs. So I'm creating 20 links into my store. And then on every page I have shop, and if you click on shop, it just goes right to the Etsy store. So you might want to follow that kind of a model.
Yes, you don't even have to create a shop page. You just link it to the Etsy link.
Unless she's gonna shop, unless you might have, unless she's selling in multiple places. Like for example, if I started selling designs on CD through Amazon, I might say, okay, you can buy a few things here. You can also go to my Etsy store. You can also shop on Amazon. Take your pick. And in that case, I might want to build an internal page explaining all the different places to shop. So it's kind of up to you. I hope that helps a little bit. All right, guys. Everybody good? Good for next week?
That so helps.
Really? Oh, I think this was a great,
And you don't need too much.
What's
You can
next
just have,
week?
like a few. If you like branch all your ideas into similar categories, because sometimes you think too hard that you're going to need all this when really you should just put it in one. You can save yourself so much more space. And
What's next week?
like you said, real estate, website.
Class.
Real estate.
Oh,
So next week, when is this project due?
The 27th,
27th. So you have another week. So next week,
2 weeks.
yeah, next week your wireframe should be pretty good. I mean, you might start on an interface design, and then you have another. Usually, what I like to do is that the due date we present it. The project should be mostly finished. You present in class, and then I give you a chance, like 3 more days or something, to make final revisions before it's due. So, but don't take that as you should really have your work done for that last class on the deadline. Okay.
Okay.
All right, guys, I'm gonna stop.